this is a good story. Now, folks, this is a true story. Help me, Hannah. It's no lies, no gimmicks, no nothing. This is pure facts. Okay, hey, folks, guess what? I'm back with lots of good stories. My name is Alan Lester Halcomb from Gordon, Kentucky. So, I'm the one person in the whole world that has put Gordon, Kentucky back on the map. Everybody that hears my stories and all of this, where in the world is Gordon, Kentucky? Well, you get your Kentucky map and find out. Well, the stories today is just really, really good. Here it is. This is February the 2nd, 2022. It's 11 minutes till 5 p.m. here in Richmond, Indiana. And this is where my story begins. Okay, we've had rain all day, and if we got snow coming in within an hour, we're going to end up in 2 days with about 15 inches of snow. The first good one in 2 or 3 years. But I'm ready for it. And but we're talking about this weather thing. When I was a little boy, at 6, 7, 8 years old, my mother taught me things about the weather on how I could predict what's coming next. And now this time my mother could not read nor write. But she was a genius, super smart lady. And she told me and showed me all of the signs, or some of them, about the weather. And one of them, we was outside one day, and it was in the wintertime, and there was a coal mine just across the branch from our house. You could see it. And back then, all of the hogs, all of your hogs, pigs, and all, each family had a special mark on the hog's ear so that everybody in the community would know whose hog it was. One guy, he cut the tails off. Well, see a short-tailed pig, hey, that belongs to this man or that one. But she was really up on this weather. It's things that was passed down from generation on. There was no radio stations or nothing, and given weather forecasts, no TVs or nothing like that. But she was real smart and knew a lot about the weather. Okay, you're standing out from your house in the wintertime, and the smoke from the chimney goes straight up in the air. It just keeps going straight up. That means fair weather for 2 or 3 days. Gonna be sunshiny and pretty. Maybe cold, but you're gonna have sunshine. Now, if you're looking out in the yard, looking back at the chimney a few days later, and the smoke is just coming out of the chimney and down on the rooftop and down towards the ground and gone, that meant bad weather is on the way. Get ready. And we were standing out there one day in the wintertime, and this bunch of hogs we had, they'd go up in the woods every day and eat, and then every night they'd come back, and they had a big bed underneath that coal bank. And it was probably a 20 square foot circle, but you had maybe a dozen or so hogs living in it. That was their nest or their den. That's where they slept. And they were in single file. They would come out from under the coal bank, go up into the woods, and get their mouth as full as they could on sticks and leaves. They'd turn around, single file, right back under the coal bank and lay it down in their bed. Turn around and go right back. It was probably 15 hogs that day, one big circle, continuously carrying sticks and leaves and building up their nest under that coal bank because they knew that a cold spell was coming. These hogs knew that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And Mom told me, said, see those hogs, they're fixing their bed. It's going to come a big snow tonight. Sure enough, next morning, 10 inches of brand new snow. And those hogs, they didn't come out for a couple of days. But this is some of the weather things that people knew that, and they could observe and figure out for themselves, okay? In the summertime, okay, you wouldn't have your smoke coming out of your chimney, maybe a cook stove or something. But in the summertime, you see the streaky clouds in the sky, serious clouds, 7¼ mile high, little ice crystals, and they called them mare's tails. They'd spread out in big long sections, looks like a horse's tail when it's running. Okay, that's the forecaster letting you know within 1 to 3 days, after you see those clouds go by in 3 or 4 hours, they're out and gone, it's going to rain in the summertime. And generally it's about 1 day. Now in the wintertime, it's about 3 days ahead of a snowstorm, but a rainstorm is just pretty much the next day. And you'll know to get ready. And they had their ways of telling when it's going to rain, when it's going to snow, and all of this stuff. And I wanted to pass that on to you, and you can notice, pay attention, and start watching for this stuff on your own, okay? Neighbor's house, your house, somebody, and notice the sky and look for those mare's tails. And sometimes there'll be a lot of them, real pretty, and that'll help you get on to the weather. And you'll be just as accurate as the TV forecasters. It'll surprise you. And you can tell your neighbors and get them educated on it. So that's the thing I wanted to tell you about the weather.